Hey guys, my name's Rob Moody. Um, I'm making this video, I'll make a few videos really on the development of Gabe, which is this game that I'm showing you now. It's me and a guy called Crazy Man. Well, his actual name's Tom, but I call him Crazy Man because we met playing games on Steam. So yeah, and that was his in-game name, and he's just always gonna be Crazy Man. And anyway, he's the programmer and I'm the artist guy who's doing all the modeling and the animation. Um, Primarily an animator, so my modeling isn't really up to scratch. Hence why we went with this kind of low poly look we've got at the moment. So I tried to mainly do like a blocky sort of look because I probably would really suffer trying to make a complex sort of model like with ZBrush and stuff like that. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is start making these little videos to basically recap what we've done, what features we've made in like the week. Normally, what we do is we work on a Wednesday and on the weekends because we both do full-time jobs. So yeah, right, let's get into it, I guess. So far, we've got this little character. He's called Gabraham, and he's Gabraham Lincoln. And the idea in this sort of test level we're making is basically you're Gabraham. You're in this lodge, I can kind of show you there. You will be in there at the start. Zombies will attack, will force you out into the world. And you kind of come out here, and you have your own little lantern, which will also be a useful tool during the game. You've got crossbow. Oh yeah, I messed about putting blend shapes on earlier on, and yeah, they're still on there, so he's a bit sinister at the moment. And he's also got his axe here. And basically, the idea of the game is sort of like medieval type horror, and you sort of come out and there's zombies about, and there'll be vampires eventually, and right at the end there'll be a werewolf boss, and I'll sort of have some sort of storyline going through it. And it's basically just both of us have never made a game before on our own. Um, Crazy Man is a programmer. He's like a software engineer, so he knows all the lingo. He just doesn't know how to use Unity. And I am an animator primarily in industry, so I haven't done all the modeling and stuff, but I've worked with people that have very good people, and I'm sort of just like learning off them. So yeah, right. At the moment we have a test level, which is basically I can kind of show you in Unity. Right, so basically it's this. Not that great at the moment. I just put a load of trees in, and I also rendered those trees out in Unity, sorry, in Maya, and basically put that as a background. So all the background is some planes with transparency on. I just layered them over and over, and then in Unity 5 you can put a depth of field thing on, so it kind of blurs it and it makes it look quite nice. Kind of covers up the fact that it's just a 2D plane. We've got the lodge. We've got some zombies here, which I'll show you in a second. Mushrooms, rocks. The mushrooms are actually made by a guy called Mark, who is my university friend, and he's sort of helping us out, doing a few small assets here and there. So if I go back to the game, I can start showing you some stuff. We put a rain effect in. We were just testing about with that, to be honest, just seeing what it looked like. So what we have is we have working locomotion. We've got different run animations. There's like a walk forward animation, which is different for each weapon. You've got your jump. I can't remember what else. There is going to be like a dodge roll, which is going to be added hopefully today. That's been animated. I wonder if I could actually show you that. Let's have a look. I'm going to load up quickly and just show you it. I think it's just the last file we did. Yeah, here we go. So basically, he just sort of rolls like this. His hat comes off, and he catches it. There you go. Nice and simple. This is the idea anyway, and basically what you'd be able to do is roll through zombies and stuff. Oops, phone went off. Where you just roll through them and sort of like be an invincible state for about half a second. Because the combat in this game is quite fast. You've got like, I'll show you that now. Let's go find some zombies. The zombies have got a state set up on them. Oops, sorry. The zombies have got like a state set up on them. So what they do is in Unity, we set up well, I say we set up, our programmer set up. There's like a box collider around him, and if you enter in that and in their field of view, which is attached to the front of their face, then they see you and they become alerted, which is triggered by or shown by having a skull appear above their head. I can show you now, and they should start. There you go, walking towards you. We added ragdolls as well onto the zombies themselves. There's particles that come up. There you go. We've got an attack as well. There you go. And all that is really is the attack's just the layer over the top. Using mechanim, using generic rig. And the reason we use generic rig instead of humanoid is because it allows scaling of the bones in translating. So you can get this quite nice squishy effect. Like if you notice when he runs, he sort of squishes up and down. And you couldn't do that. Like the hat, for instance, is scaling. You couldn't do that with a humanoid rig, which kind of sucks. But since then I've actually found out that it's better for resources if you use the generic rig instead of the humanoid rig. So good to know, eh? But yeah, they're the zombies. So they sort of walk towards you and attack. Eventually be able to push them back. We've got with the attack, the axe, you've got one attack which is sort of like a swing like this, and there will be like a combo one which is sort of like a downwards chop from the top. You've got to push away, which eventually will push the zombies away. It's not plugged up yet. So the idea in this game is you're going to have tons of monsters coming at you, and they've all got a low amount of health, so you just sort of chop through them really quickly. Next it'll be vampires, which will spawn as bats in the sky, and the idea is if you wanted to, you could shoot them down before they land, and they'll sort of land behind you and in front of you. You can shoot them down, and once they land, the only way to kill them is to shoot them through the heart with a stake, traditional vampire style. The only way to kill a zombie, is to chop his head off. The stakes don't. I think we were toying with the fact that the stakes could like kill the zombie eventually if you shot it in the head enough, but I'm not sure I want to go that way. I want to kind of keep it separate, because otherwise you could just kite everything and shoot from miles away with range. It kind of ruins the whole fun. I can show you a bit of the mech on him now, because it's quite annoying when you're trying to look for tutorials and stuff on mech on him, and you get all the really basic stuff. You don't get anyone actually showing you the hard stuff or how it's actually working in a real life situation, which is quite annoying. So with Gabraham, we haven't even done that much stuff. We already have quite a lot of layers. You've got like the base layer, which I don't actually know why these are here. I think they were put there by accident. Right, okay. They shouldn't be there. They will just be ignored for now. You've got like your idle, which will also go into backpedal if you walk back. You've got here like is backpedaling, and we've got that on true or false. Walk forwards and true or false, and then over the top of that we have these layers. So the crossbow has got a mask on it, which basically means sorry, my phone went off again. Basically the mask is only showing the animation from above its spine 2, yeah, so only above spine 2, so we're talking like the shoulders. Let me find Gabraham, I can sort of show you. So it's only above this here, so you can't see my mouse, damn it. Above like just the shoulders and the head. I can sort of show you actually. So yeah, so if you see like his legs will still run, walk normally. but it's only the top half of his body that changes. The aiming was very hard to do. I mean, we bought a plugin called Final AK, which worked really nicely, and it's meant to be better than the one that Unity uses as stock. Basically, again, it wasn't me; it was the programmer friend who set up, programmer God, and it's got like a sphere around it. So, because what we were having is a problem when you brought the mouse too close to him, he would sort of flip out, but now he sort of nicely bends backwards. I quite like that. It's quite cartoony. Works quite well. So yeah, we've got this all set up here, and then from this it gets quite complicated. We've got like your idle, which can go into the crossbow run animation, which is that you can see. You sort of can't really show you, to be honest, too much. I have to kill those zombies. See how he walks and he holds it. And for the aiming, we've got 3 poses, which is a high one. He sort of reaches out. We've got the medium pose, and then the lower pose. You should just pull it back a bit. It's kind of hard to see with the grass there. Yeah. For the axe, let me show you the axe stuff. We've got our attacks, and this chop here, this is the one that will eventually be the combo. We're not quite sure how we're going to plug that in yet, but this push is the pushback. Eventually will happen. So if I quickly show you some more killing, the particles and stuff like that were bought. It's a really good pack actually. I can bring it up quickly. It's called Cartoon Effects, and you can get it on the asset store. And this guy is just amazing. There's all this stuff. He's got like loads of demos and stuff. If you go on the website, actually, I can leave in the comments below the video. But yeah, he's got absolutely tons of stuff, and some of the stuff is so cool. Look at that. It fits our game really, really well. So I'm really happy with that. There's a zombie left. We've got a weapon swap system, which we are very happy about. We just make this bigger so you can see it. So basically, if you press 1 on the keyboard, it brings out his lantern. Pressing 2 brings out the crossbow. And 3 is attack. We've got different ideas for the lantern. Like eventually the lantern will show you secret areas and secret text and stuff like that that's going to be hidden along the level. So one of the ideas we had was for the werewolf boss right at the end. When you come to killing him at the end, you have a sort of an option. It will say like, Mortal Kombat, finish him type thing. And as you're going through the level, if you get your lantern out in certain places, you can find hidden combos that you'll type in at the end on your controller to do a finishing animation move. So say like you go near this tree, up the tree there could be like a combo written, which would be like XX, 0, left, right. Like the typical kind of like Tekken old like combos used to find. So that's the idea for that. And also like was having things like toying around with the idea of having a dog, and you can maybe find a dog collar or something like that, only available with the lantern. And the way we're going to do that is have like a shader or something that is only visible in the lantern light. So we've got a working HP system as well, which is it's all working, but like the zombies are using it, but at the moment, Gabraham, the main character, doesn't use it. He can't die at the moment. Gabe's death is going to be quite hard to do. It's going to be sort of like a little mini game where if you get downed, you'll go into like a down state, which everything will go all ghostly, and you see your body on the floor, and your soul will slowly get pulled out of you. So you'll see like an animation of his soul getting pulled out of the body. And if you imagine like a giant wind tunnel, and he's sort of like flailing in the air, holding onto his body, and he'll slowly start flying towards the top of the screen, and you sort of button bash, and you're holding your button bashing, and he's sort of like doing like breaststroke, for instance, trying to swim back to his body. And ideally it'll happen 3 times, and each time it happens it'll get harder and harder and harder, and like by the 3rd time you can probably just get back in your body if you're mashing the button. 4th time It depends what kind of skills you've got in mashing the button, but you probably won't be able to get back in it. So it's sort of like a little mini game in the way you die, which I think would be quite cool. Um, so that'll be hopefully maybe next week. To be honest, it's quite a big task, but we'll see how much we can get through in a week. Um, we've got blend shapes as well. I can sort of show you how you did that because that was quite hard to do. I'll just move this on the other screen. Make this bigger. So what I did is when I was in Maya, I made blend shapes the normal way. You can find tons of tutorials on YouTube. The same normal way you do any normal blend shape animation, not in games. You just export it all out as one. So you export the entire scene, and when you bring it to Unity, if you go to the actual head mesh, you get this little menu come up, and it's like pretty much the same way as it is in Maya. You got this slider, and you can move this, for instance, and it's 0 to 100. So you have to ignore these blend shapes as well. They're done very quickly just to test. So it clips through the body, and it looks awful. But the idea is we're going to have different facial expressions during it. I mean, they're going to probably have talking as well, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet, but probably making a little animation of the different blend shapes. And like for instance, we've got a blink that's already in the game, and that's done very badly actually because the whole head moves and it shouldn't do that. But yeah, so that's already set up. Actually, you need blinks during the game at the moment. And what you do for that is you open like the animation tab. Very simple. You go to this drop down menu, create new clip, and you create the clip of him, for instance, laughing or whatever. Let me just show you one. The laughing one, basically all I did was I animated the laughing shape and the smile shape. So he just sort of laughs, and that's what he does when he does the crossbow, which is quite sinister. But yeah, I'm just animating the different values up and down, and that repeats. And what you do is you take that animation and you go to your, we got like an emotions layer. And basically, you stick the weight up to 1, and this will play over the top of all the other animations. You've got a parameter on it, so basically when he's aiming the crossbow, he'll just start laughing like a madman. And it works quite well. We won't actually have it like this in the game, but it's just an idea, testing around with it. So yeah, this is what we've got so far. We have, oh yeah, also we've got the weapons on his back. Forgot about that. But this is very easy. It's just with the weapon swapping. We're just testing it out, having it on his back. I don't actually know if I like it because from the front, it looks like he's got something sitting on his back. It looks like a creature or something, like flopping around. Maybe it's just the floppiness of it. But yeah, we've got like another plugin called Dynamic Bones, which I'll have to show you. If you look at his tail on his coat, maybe if I jump up and down, you can't really see it. I'll go right out into the open. Just get through all these zombies. Get out of my way! Right, so if I get through here. Okay, now if you look at his tail on his coat, you can see it dynamically moves around, and this saves a lot of time animating, and it's really good on performance. And all this was just a plugin from the asset store. I think it was $5, which is just amazing. And I've got that also on the crossbow on his back. You can see this kind of flops around a bit when he walks. But yeah, just little things like that is brilliant. Really adds a lot to the game. So I can put a link to this build as well under the video. I'll attach it to Mediafire, and all you have to do is double click build 03 and that'll open up. And my main aim, to be honest, is to make build 1.0, which we've said is going to be this, and we've got quite a way through it. We had to create a test level. We've got the working locomotion. So the locomotion is... There's one more thing we'd like to add on the locomotion, which is going to be the ability to dash or move quite fast. Because I think with this game, if you've got lots of things coming at you, you can't double jump in this game. So having some sort of quick dash to get out of the way. Like if you think of games like Guild Wars 2, they've got it. What's that new Dark Souls game? Not the Dark Souls. Bloodborne. Bloodborne's got it. It's just very quick, and it's easy to get out of the way of things when they're attacking you. That's the kind of feel I want to have for this game. We've got the working AI for the zombies. They sort of come towards you. It's not totally done yet. The aiming's done, which is really good. The zombies attack and they die. They got different states, so the zombies will be in like an idle state at the start. I can sort of show you that again. They're in like an idle state where they sort of mind their own business. You walk into their colliders and they become alerted. I'm meant to anyway, but you can't. There you go. You can't quite see me. And then we've got different things. Some walk, some run. So this way, you kind of splits them all up. If you're walking backwards, you're not going to get them all at the same time. There's ragdolls on the zombies, which get turned on, and when they die, their heads come off as well, which is sort of like a rigid body of his own. And so we're pretty happy with how it looks. Eventually, you'll be able to pick up this axe. We have a little animation of him picking it up and being like, whoa. But yeah, this is the build so far, and I'll try to keep you updated with it. Cheers.